Rifle squad, waiting for orders.
Welcome to a 1v1 on Angoville. This is going to be another very special Operation Charlie Fox contributor cast, brought to you by the one and only Dr. Foxrex and Falta, the man, the legend, the experience, sponsor of the legendary $1,000 Foxrex and Falta tournament last Christmas, and continues to be proud sponsor of Operation Charlie Fox. Very generous contributor, and he has asked me to cast this game, so that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be Redbeard versus Nethmes, I guess, on Angoville, over Commando West in the south versus U.S. forces in the north. And we're already seeing a very heated engagement in the first 2 minutes for this building. This building is everything on this map. We see it time and time again. It is critically important that you not lose this structure. Trying to brute force these rear echelon troops out of here is proving very costly, and riflemen are moving up to secure the building. Once that happens, Redbeard is in a lot of trouble. He is in a lot of trouble already. This is not good. If he was gonna go for the right side fuel point, he needed to make sure not to lose this building. Now that that's happened, he's off to a terrible start. He's taken no territory over here on the left. And he's going to be in a rough situation. He's got 3 Volksgrenadier opening to his opponent's 3 riflemen, and you can already see riflemen have barely even taken a scratch. Rear echelons have absorbed the brunt of the damage during that engagement. Just looking at losses, it's already 6-2. A lot of Volksgrenadier reinforcement here, and it looks like he's going to continue brute forcing his way up the right side, trying to force these riflemen from this building. Stern Pioneers charging into close range, eating a lot of damage from those riflemen. They should not be doing this. They're getting gunned down fast and will be forced to retreat. The riflemen inside have only taken 1 loss so far. I really think he needs to take a different approach. He should just go for the left, look for cutoff opportunities, because this building is not going to fall with him just hurling Volksgrenadiers at it. Assault engineers have been fielded. Seems like a good idea, honestly. Assault engineers have a few nice tools for building management. They can get a flamethrower to force an opponent out, force an opponent back away from a building. They can do a lot of short-range damage in these situations. They can throw a demo charge on the building. They also have access to barbed wire and all of those other fun toys. So if he can continue to hold that position using whatever the assault engineers have to offer, that'll help. We are going to see Redbeard almost doing a full transition from the right side back over to the left side, trying to get some territory under control over here, since the right is obviously now a lost cause, and it's all been taken by the US player now, giving him a huge resource advantage here in the early game, which he's going to utilize to purchase himself a captain. Probably go into a quick Stewart would be my guess.
Capture point is under attack.
Wow, the squad of riflemen in this building just retreated. Is he getting weapon upgrades or something? I don't know why he did that. I guess he just wanted to bring them into the next engagement. I don't think he needed to retreat to do that, though. By retreating, he brought them all the way back up to his base, so he's just going to be kind of blobbing them all from the same direction. If he had kept them here and then flanked around from the south simultaneously with his push from the base, could open up some flanking opportunities, which, even though there are no team weapons here, flanking infantry position and cover is still a valuable thing to do. But I don't know. Third squad of riflemen plus the captain is going to make its way up into this engagement. The amount of forces he has fielded to the front lines should still be sufficient to win this, though. It's going to be a 4v3, just 2 squads of Volksgrenadiers and some Stern Pioneers. They don't have a cover position built yet, so if he just were to charge in, he should be able to push that back. Meanwhile, the third squad of Volksgrenadiers is taking some territory right, and we're going to see a pretty early Raketenwerfer in preparation for whatever light vehicle Nethmes might be deciding to field. Very, very, very soon. Only 5 fuel away now from his Stuart, so Kind of unfortunate that he's being forced to get a Rekettenwerfer this early before he even has a 4th infantry squad or anything, but I definitely think it makes sense when his map control situation is this dire. Stuart in production, and I'm not even sure those Stern Pioneers are going to get away. Getting focus fired down by those riflemen. Rear echelon troops could finish that off. They should turn and fire on that. They're completely ignoring that wipe opportunity. He is trying to pay attention to an engagement on the right side where a squad of assault engineers almost got wiped, capturing this territory. Jägerlight, what was that noise?
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
There was a mine. Ooh, that mine. Look at that. Full squad of riflemen explodes to a mine. That is a lucky pickup for Redbeard, and one he desperately needed to turn this game around because he is in an extremely bad map control situation. Using Jägerlight infantry to grab control over here on the right side. If he had just picked up this wipe too, look how close he was. If he had just picked up that wipe too, he would really be bouncing back into this game. He's definitely still behind. Even after picking up that wipe, that's not enough. He needs to do a lot more because this Stuart is going to come with a pretty decent amount of wipe potential itself. Good counter harassment potential. Certainly have no problem chasing away these Jägerlight infantry. As of right now, the one Rekettenwerfer on the field is the only thing that poses a threat to the Stuart, and now with the Stuart health buff is much more difficult for one Rekettenwerfer to destroy. There's that retreat. Those Jägerlight infantry will be next, and everything on the left side is going to be taken by Nethmes. Minesweeper also up on these rear echelon troops for good reason. Hopefully he'll be able to spot any further shoe mines. Try to avoid those unlucky wipes. Captain walks right into a big blob right there. That was a mistake. He's going to be forced to retreat from this engagement early. The flamethrower also getting gunned down a little bit, not getting any big bursts. Might want to get that out of there. Maybe not though. They both gambled on that engagement, and they will both get out of there without getting wiped. Volksgrenadiers without Panzerschrecks cannot engage against the Stuart effectively, so they're just trying to bait it into the Rekettenwerfer right here. Riflemen moving up are not going to be able to win against a force of this size. But if he can secure this building again, he might be able to put pressure on these forces to try and push him out of the cutoff. But he fails to secure the building when Jägerlight infantry are deployed out of it again to support in this coming engagement. 3 squads of riflemen set up in yellow cover against these 2 squads at range. With Stuart support, might be able to win. He needs to be careful about how he micros his Stuart if he pays too much attention to his infantry here. That Rekettenwerfer will be a serious problem. I don't know if that next shot will take it out. I don't think so. Should be safe. Next shot doesn't even go off. So, Stern Pioneers getting focus fired or forced retreat from this engagement. Smoke deployed on the blob over there so they can continue engaging against this building. That toss range, does he have bullet? Yeah, he has 1 bulletin. I was like, whoa. That guy's got quite an arm. The blob backpedals a little bit to try and maintain building control here. These riflemen are wounded enough that they probably can't safely camp this area for long, but they are engaging cost effectively. Ooh, that might even be a wipe. That was a late retreat on that squad. Went down faster than expected, getting focus fired right there. Another grenade. Are they dead? No, okay. Nice dodge, nice dodge. But it looks like a full retreat. All riflemen are falling dangerously low. These 2 squads might stick around for a little while, but with the main core of infantry off the battlefield, looks like the engagement is largely won for Redbeard. Maybe, ooh, went too deep with that Volksgrenadier squad though. For every victory, an even more painful and expensive loss. Stern Pioneers, freshly reinforced, make their way back to the front line, chase everything back into the U.S. base. The Stuart will also pull back. Map control situation for Redbeard is a little bit better than before. Like a little. He will start to grow his territory for the first time in the entire game. He'll own more than just a quarter of the map. A T-gun being fielded by Nethmes. This is an odd decision. That's not going to help impress his map advantage at all, and he certainly doesn't need to be afraid of any vehicles. I don't know what he thought was coming. maybe if his opponent had gone tier 3, but he already has a Stuart, so this just seems like it's not even gonna... I have no idea what he was thinking with this purchase. Seems very unnecessary. Stuart comes very close to wiping that squad. He's trying to bait it into the Kettenwerfer again. Wasn't taking the bait. Kettenwerfer's gonna pull back a little bit. Volksgrenadiers are going to retreat.
Knock it off. Listen up. Shoot up here. Get ready. Keep low. Use cover.
Reinforcements in. Welcome to the Death Factory, boys. Stick with me and you might just make it.
Ostwind, I guess, could be a threat. That's a good point. He's only 1 CP away from Ostwind.
All right, you guys.
Had not thought about that. Although, nope, not anymore. He just went tier 4. So definitely not planning on an Ostwind. Maybe he wants to get some Obersoldaten out or something. There's another mine right there. Despite having purchased a minesweeper, he has not not been able to spot those things. Some pretty good mines so far this game, and he's just gonna keep throwing them down. Looks like BARs have been unlocked for riflemen here, and a lot of them are being purchased. I see at least 3, not to mention the flamethrowers. So American infantry is... Oh, is that a wipe? Ooh, they all clumped up trying to go inside the door, and the Stuart just wiped them in one shot. Won the lottery right there. There is a mine here. There is a little bit of... No, he's going to sweep that up, finally. We'll detect that with the minesweeper moving up from the north. Volksgrenadiers and Jaeger Light Infantry move to engage the range against the coming Allied forces, and over here on the left side, Volksgrenadiers and Jaeger Light Infantry are going to start harassing the left. By dedicating 2 squads to left side harassment, he's going to be very weak on his front line and may not be able to weather the storm that's coming, although there is a captain in the base, plus a lot of manpower invested into an AT gun. Stuart is heading left as well, so maybe he will be fine, since his opponent is not going to be making a full commitment to this push. Demo charge? No. Snipping wire. Okay. I was like, oh, demo charge. I forgot that you can snip OKW wire. That's another nuance to this patch. You will notice that toss. Nice dodge. VAR will easily win him that engagement. Stuart also proving to be perfectly good counter-harassment tool. Will push those infantry away from the left. Massed infantry moving up here on the right side. Look like they will pressure these riflemen into a retreat, but not before taking heavy damage from those BARs. They're engaging pretty well. Gunned down a lot of these infantry before being forced to retreat themselves, and the assault engineers plus rear echelon troops are going to harass all territory over there on the right side. Stuart is rotating back towards the middle to support the engagement, goes right past the Kettenwerfer, but it wasn't quite set up yet. Still, the Stuart doesn't like the idea of engaging in front of it and is going to try and pull itself back to safety out of Kettenwerfer range. Doing light harassment of those Volksgrenadiers. They should probably not stick around under Stuart fire for too long if they're not going to engage it. There's that retreat. Captain needs to keep himself moving and active, get all the territory left wrapped up, and there's the first tier 4 unit on the field. It is Obersoldaten. Redbeard, which he'll be trying to use, I guess, to engage against these riflemen more cost effectively at range. But he does not currently have the munitions for their LMG, which is going to be... against BAR riflemen is going to be quite important.
What the hell am I meant to do with these recruits?
Grenade toss in the building. Easy dodge.
Grab your shit, follow me.
Needs to get these infantry into cover, but he is a little bit flanked by that flamethrower as well. Jaeger Lights jump up into this position by the car. I think someone tossed a grenade. Got cancelled though. Not sure what happened right there. Stuart moves up to help in the engagement. For Kettenwerfer is perfectly positioned for that. Convinces it to pull back a little bit. The Obersoldaten probably still doing pretty okay damage. Yeah, they've halfway to vet 1, plus they've got a kill. So even without their LMG, they probably helped significantly during that engagement. We'll continue to secure the building with them. Probably a good idea to keep them in the building, since you want to avoid model losses on them as much as possible. Panzerschreck moves up against the Stuart here. Might see the Stewart go down if that Panzer Strike can get it. One more shot. Oh, it's abandoned. Oh no, nobody can recover this though. Both players currently have anti-tank weaponry. They're both firing at the Stewart. Neither one of them firing at each other. Both just trying to deny that Stewart to the other person.
What the hell am I meant to do with these?
And the Volksgrenadiers will succeed in that endeavor and before retreating. Obersoldat might not even win this unless they laser beam the Thompson down fast. Ooh, that Thompson! Oh, that Thompson at close range, that was nasty. Obersoldaten take a lot of damage right there and are forced to retreat. Another engagement here in the middle. Grenade assault plus Jaegers on their flank, and this building will win this engagement for Redbeard, I think. Grenade toss into the building to try and turn the engagement. And those Volksgrenadiers will be convinced to retreat. They don't have sufficient cover to withstand that much BAR fire. So much infantry moving up on this poor isolated squad. They have no choice but to get out of there. All four sides of this building taking fire. So there's that retreat. We're looking at 3 squads of Jägerlights plus some Obersoldaten. So pretty hefty investment into anti-infantry at range. Makes the loss of that Stewart that much more painful, and Nethmes' failure to spend his fuel that much more apparent. He's just been waiting for Collins. I don't know if I think an M10 is necessary. Again, I mean, his AT gun has done nothing all game.
Reinforcements in.
Having an AT gun and an M10 means, I mean, the only thing they can really do is apply pressure to the trucks if they can find an opening. And they may be able to find an opening. But at least he's spending his fuel now. He does have the bulldozer on the field. Hopefully we'll see some fun stuff with the bulldozer. Maybe we'll see some green cover positions. I actually, no joke, think that bulldozer green cover is a pretty good tool because it builds almost instantly. Green cover is really good. And you are at almost no risk when you build it. Having mobile makes a nice big chunky green covered block. I don't know. It'd be fun to see it. I'd appreciate it. The squad of Jaeger light infantry in the building may be at risk. Bulldozer putting fire on the building. Misses somehow. But if that building were to collapse, no longer be a defensive position for Redbeard, no longer be an offensive position for Nethmes. They're both able to make very good use of it, so it's also extremely sturdy. That building is not easy to destroy. Neither are any of the buildings really on this map. The important ones anyway. Bulldozer kiting a little bit, getting some big hits, forcing some retreats already. The Raketenwerfer is moving up to try and assist in this situation. Volksgrenadiers left after retreat from these 2 squads moving up, laser beaming them down, and the M10 for now is just being used to capture territory because it's not combat effective against anything that Redbeard has on the field. Both Collins are available to Nethmes again, and he's got RNG bombs.
M10 tank destroyer ready.
And he got a second M10. He's really over preparing for the whatever he thinks is on its way. He must feel like his opponent's got a King Tiger about to roll out or something. That is definitely not the situation. He might be able to squeeze out 1 Panzer IV this game. I think 2 M10s and an AT gun and a captain is a little overzealous on the anti-tank prep. Especially when fighting nothing but overs and Jaeger lights. I feel like he's, you know, he could throw out a Sherman. Could throw out another Sherman, try and turn up the anti-infantry pressure a little bit here. But whatever, he's got a lot of BARs. Maybe that's just his composition that he likes. He'd just rather use the BARs than the infantry and grenades and such for anti-infantry duties. And then just keep those tank destroyers in the bank. His is my guess. I don't know.
Coming fire! Objective secured! Orders!
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Stay close, and you might live through this. Okay, kid? Armor ready.
Mods, I hate to ask you to tear your eyes away from this riveting gameplay,
Out of here!
M10 tank
but can we
destroyer
like
ready
clean
for
chat up a
deployment.
little? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Stand by orders!
Rear echelon troops moving to grab some territory down here. This Raketenwerfer just got wiped. That's the only Raketenwerfer he's fielded all game.
Shooting us up!
I think he's trying to destroy that with the bulldozer.
M10, we're losing a capture point.
Is that a third M10? Why? I think he's gonna try and just like YOLO into his opponent's base with like a huge M10 blob. Or maybe he wants to buy a bunch of Thompsons? Is that what's happening right now, I guess? Maybe. We'll see if that works. I don't know. He's definitely poised to take this game.
What the hell? Where's that
It'd be a shame if he
reinforcements in?
messed it up because he was
A capture point is being overrun.
Incoming!
messing around up there in his base. I don't know. I don't know what I think. Let's see what happens. Over here on the left side, there will be a bit of an opening, a bit of a harassment opportunity. Bulldozer's preoccupied with fighting and repairs right, and this territory is going to start turning back red. The engagement over here also not quite going in Redbeard's favor, though. BAR is still getting the job done against those Jaeger Light Infantry, and they will be forced to retreat. This victory point will fall back into U.S. control, and Redbeard is definitely behind by a good 200 VPs.
He's losing his goddamn marbles.
He's not buying the Thompsons, so he's just stockpiling these for whatever tank might arrive, and that tank's going to be a Panzer IV. That Panzer IV is extremely countered before it even hits the field. It would have to do some miracle maneuvering to take on 3 M10s plus AT gun plus captain. It may honestly even be a mistake to even get a Panzer IV. Of course, he doesn't know his opponent has that many M10s. I think he's seen one. He doesn't know about the other two, so just gonna try and get that tank on the field. But I think it's unlikely to have much of an impact. Here it comes, upgrading with top mount machine gun as well. He should definitely be able to push back some BAR riflemen with this, at least if it's unsupported. Once Nethmes spots that Panzer IV, I expect he's going to be crewing these M10s and swarming it. I don't think it'll have much of a chance to survive against that, but we will see some preparatory Raketenwerfers being fielded here as well. Try and give that Panzer IV a bit of a zone of protection. For now, the Bulldozer Sherman and Allied Infantry is going to move back left, try and clear. Oh, that wipe!
Reinforcements in. Welcome to the
To try and take back control of some of these territories, he picks up a wipe for free with a miracle hit from the Bulldozer. So that's not good. Redbeard is definitely not in a position where he can afford to be losing full squads, but with Panzer IV on the field, maybe he can pressure that Bulldozer into backing off a little bit. Of course, it does have this AT gun protecting. Huge blob of infantry making its way right to take back all territory over here, and then the M10 blob will be available for anti-Panzer IV duties once it's spotted, and I believe it just got spotted right here. AT gun already laying fire on. Panzer IV is going to back off out of AT gun range. Jaeger Light Infantry are being gunned down over here on the right side by the U.S. blob. Continues to make its way across the right. Everything has to retreat. Has no choice. Here comes the M10 swarm, I think. Panzer IV is making its way across the central road to engage against some infantry over here.
Capture complete! Enemy tank is cutting us off!
Here comes the M10 blob. There is a Raketenwerfer set up to support right here, and RNG bombs being dropped. He might be dropping that on himself. I don't know if that's a... Oh, he just nailed his own M10 with that RNG artillery. This M10 also falling dangerously low. Another shell landed on the M10 and it's destroyed. Oh my god, this push could not have been more poorly executed. Is that M10 also going to go down? It's abandoned. Oh my goodness! How is this happening? He needs to get his units out of the howitzer barrage though. Ooh, barely skirts past that. Assault engineers are on their way to try and recover this M10 or destroy it actually. They're throwing a demo charge down to try and prevent it from being recovered. Oversold out and see the demo charge being planted. I believe they may laser beam that rifle squad down before he can react. Oh no!
Just got a report of an infantry unit being
Can't get too close to that demo charge. He's gonna try and recover the BAR right there. He is making no attempt at recovery of the M10. I think he definitely saw that demo charge going down, so he does get out of that with the free BAR. He needs to try and execute some repairs on his Panzer IV somehow, but he does not have any Sturmpyos on the field. He doesn't even have a mechanized regiment HQ. There's the denial of the M10 to his opponent. He will destroy it. Of course, the demo charge still sitting right there on the ground is a problem. Without a minesweeper, he needs to not blob right over it, hopefully. I think he's pretty safe. Ooh, that's scary.
We're losing a capture point.
Jaeger light infantry charge into this flamethrower squad. Meanwhile, Panzerschreck moving up on the flank of this M10. Flamethrower's trying to bait them right over the demo charge.
200 points.
Oh god. Detonate, what is he waiting for? There it goes. He only picked up one of those squads. I think he could have inflicted much more serious harm if he had timed that better. But he probably had other things to pay attention to. He's got riflemen moving up right here, trying to push away those Volksgrenadiers. That assault engineer squad gets away with only a tiny little bit of health left. Volksgrenadiers also forced to retreat, and the bulldozer rotates back over towards the right side engagements to try and push Redbeard back into his base. Still no repairs on this thing. Oh, there's the mechanized regiment HQ, so he has all three tech structures up. These infantry just trying to soak up some fire for that Raketenwerfer,
Ready for action.
and the bulldozer will be scared off. Just a little bit of HP left, but he should be able to get to safety no problem. M10 trying for a crush maneuver against these Jaeger light infantry, also going to disengage, not having enough support to stick around. Engine has been fully repaired on the Panzer IV. It's going to move up to try and see if it can make anything work over here. And on the left side, ooh, Minesweeper squad just got picked up. It wasn't being monitored. Volksgrenadiers wiped them on a flank engagement. Now I'm not so sure who's in the lead after blowing up his entire own army.
Commanders, be advised. Troop level barrage now
Nethmes
available.
is probably struggling a little bit. Somehow Redbeard might somehow have a way to come back into this game, but he's still at a very significant victory point deficit, and he doesn't have very much fuel. He has just this one Panzer IV with which to execute a miracle. Two M10s going in on his Panzer IV once again. There is a Panzerschreck and Raketenwerfer available to protect. M10s don't like the idea of, oh, they fire through the hedge, one shot connects with the rear armor, and that thing is going to have to pull back. M10s think they might have an opportunity here. Panzerschreck moving up on the flank scares them off, though. Nethmes can't seem to decide if he wants to commit to an engagement or not with these things. I'm not sure. He might have been able to pick up the Panzer IV, but he would have probably lost at least one of those M10s in exchange. This M10 goes right into the Raketenwerfer's arc of fire, eats two shots before pulling back to safety. Over here on the right side, the Panzer IV will continue putting pressure on these infantry to retreat, but they will get that fuel point captured before doing so. Over here on the left side, the entire map is turning red. Somehow Redbeard just spreading out and getting everything under his control. Fresh squads of riflemen being deployed to try and shore up Nethmes' numbers a little bit. Because he was down to only two squads of riflemen. The squad of riflemen must have got wiped without me noticing. Not to mention his Minesweeper squad also being dead, so he's definitely hurting for infantry a little bit here. But Redbeard has also suffered his fair share of wipes.
Squad is back to full strength. Task complete. Crew ready.
What the hell am I meant to do with these recruits? Green as green can be. Well, grab your shit and follow me. Get ready for warning orders.
Get ready.
Crew ready. Send your orders.
Hit him with the coax. We're losing a capture
Pretty quiet ceasefire. The map somehow has been split in half. Nethmes managing to lose control of a game he absolutely had in the bag, but he will move to get some territory back on both fronts. Panzer IV is available to engage here on the left. Meanwhile, on the right side, 2 squads of riflemen moving to try and push away a light infantry force. The Raketenwerfer are currently positioned in the central road in red cover. That's dangerous. At half health in red cover, he's just asking for that to get cleared. Jaeger light infantry are forced to retreat, but Obersoldaten are going to do so much damage. They're Vet 2 now, and they force a full retreat from both of those squads of riflemen, and the AT gun has to reposition to safety. Bulldozer spots the Raketenwerfer sitting here in the road. I think it's going to get wiped. There it goes. That's a shame. Pretty painful loss. Where's the Panzer IV? Where's the support? It was caught so isolated. Panzerschreck on its way up. Panzer IV also on its way up. Ooh, that was a nasty shot right there. Squad barely gets away. Obersoldaten also forced to retreat here. Couple shots connecting with Bulldozer's rear armor. Panzer IV cannot quite squeeze through this gap, and it's exposing its rear to M10 fire, I think. They don't have vision of each other, though, so he's just moving to fire on that Raketenwerfer. Panzer IV circles around to continue engaging against the Bulldozer, which is falling rather low. But it looks like it should be able to get to safety. It also has a little bit of AT gun protection right here. Jaeger light infantry working on this. Assault engineer squad probably also have to retreat, however. M10s may have an opening here to take out that Panzer IV. It no longer has any Panzerschreck or Raketenwerfer protection. And it's falling low fast. Activates Blitz to try and get itself to safety, but I think we will finally see a full commitment to destroy this tank. Ooh, that bounce off the frontal armor of the M10. You don't see that every day. He's not going to go hard, though. He is not going to commit. He needed maybe one more penetrating shot to destroy that, but he pulls back to safety, not feeling comfortable with that situation. He did lose his AT gun briefly right here. He needs to get that recruit. He needs to get all of his tanks back for repairs. He needs to execute in his incoming engagements a little better, a little more decisively. As Panzer IV gets out of that engagement with another miracle escape with just 7 kills. It's not even doing that much, but it is up to Vet 2 doing an okay job of at least deterring his opponent's tanks, if nothing else.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Jaeger light infantry against Captain. Jaeger light infantry clearly winning. Captain will be forced to retreat. They're up to Vet 3 and will probably be able to hold their own against vanilla BAR rifle squad, which is already wounded. BAR riflemen on the right side will be forced to retreat. Obersoldaten plus Grenadiers trying to get a fuel point under their control over here. The Bulldozer moves up to try and push them away, and Nethmes, again, not really capitalizing on his map advantage. I don't know why he wouldn't spend his 300 fuel. I kind of think he should go tier 4 and get regular Shermans, or maybe even just spam Bulldozers, whatever he wants to do, but he needs to punish his opponent's investment into infantry. The amount of bleed Redbeard has taken this game has been atrocious, and yet he's somehow holding on to territory. I don't understand if... I guess US bleed has been almost as bad. It's been pretty bad on both sides. Those Jaeger light infantry snipes are not to be underestimated. Obersoldaten have 20 kills. 21 kills on these Jaegers. I don't know. I'm not sure how he's inflicted over 100 losses. I'm just not seeing it on the kill counters. He's suffered a lot of wipes, so I guess we're not seeing the full picture.
Stick with me and you might just make it.
And there it is. There's a major. So he is going to go tier 4, hopefully into some tier 4 units. Even the Scott actually would probably be pretty good. Sometimes they get miracle hits against these smaller squads. Not monitoring this. That's an easy wipe for those Obersoldaten. That went down quick. Big fight on the right side, though. M10s do finally commit. A lucky shot, and that Panzer IV could go down. There it is. Another Panzer IV arrives to the engagement, but too late to save the day. At least he does trade 2 M10s for 1 Panzer IV. Probably not the best trade, but it could have been worse. If only he had got that into that engagement just a split second sooner. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way for him, and he loses his tank. But Nethmes' his armored forces are starting to get a little low. He's only got 1 bulldozer left, queuing up a Jackson now. He's completely run out of M10s despite having a massive fuel lead earlier on in the game, and this bulldozer is exposing itself to serious harm if it doesn't get out of there. It looks like it's gonna be safe if that Panzer IV dives through a Jackson. I don't think it's gonna go too well. Jackson nails the Panzer IV at short range, dealing heavy damage. Panzer IV dealing light damage as it tries to retreat to safety. I wonder if that Jackson is gonna commit to a chase. I don't think so.
A capture point is under
Maybe.
attack.
It's that Panzer IV is very stranded up there. Very stranded. Jaeger light infantry moving up to try and push away that captain, which is trying to spot for the Jackson. Looks like that Panzer IV might be able to sneak to safety. Meanwhile, on the left side, Obersoldaten harassing the map have taken everything under their control. They're so strong against riflemen now, so counter harassment of these Obersoldaten definitely requires the attention of the bulldozer or some kind of armor. Vet 4 Jaeger light infantry moving up on the captain are going to snipe him down, force this retreat easily enough. They are now Vet 5, in fact. Wow. So they're pretty dangerous.
Well, grab your shit and follow me.
Volksgrenadiers continued their advance across the right side. Maybe they can look for opportunities against the Jackson with their Panzerschreck. BAR riflemen move up to try and force retreat from these Obersoldaten. They're now Vet 3, so they're a serious problem. Dangerous enough that these riflemen feel they need to deploy smoke just to get into close range against them. They're going to backpedal towards some yellow cover, maybe try and pick up a few kills before they're forced to retreat, and the bulldozer finds a nice opportunity against those Volksgrenadiers, almost wiping them. They will get away. Just a little bit of health remaining.
300 points remaining.
Grenade toss on those hedges. Looks like it's going to take a good 3 squads of riflemen to overwhelm 1 squad of Obersoldaten sitting in some shrubs. If they are even able to win this engagement, which maybe they are not going to be able to be. The suppression on these guys is disgusting. I can't even believe this. 3 squads of VAR riflemen shut down. There were supporting infantry, though, moving up from the right flank. But a Vet 4... Oh, no! Oh, he had a squad that could take on a whole army, and they get annihilated off the face of the earth by 1 bulldozer shot. With 45 kills this bulldozer has now, Redbeard needs to find a way to get rid of this thing. It is a bigger pain to him than those Obersoldaten were to his opponent, which is saying something clearly.
Incoming Panzerschreck! Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
Death factory, boys.
A capture point is under attack.
Second Jackson on the field. Nethmes just loves anti-tank, I guess. He feels very strongly about a huge commitment to taking out 1 Panzer IV with 2 Jacksons. I almost think he already had an opportunity to destroy this with the 1 Jackson he had, but if 1 was not enough, 2 certainly should be. Stolen AT guns begin to complicate the situation, though, significantly. The entire right side is turned red due to harassment by these Jaeger light infantry. I don't think the captain's going to be sufficient to push them to retreat. Fortunately, the bulldozer is on its way to get them out of there, get some territory back under control. A lot of idle squads in the U.S. base, healing and reinforcing. No forward retreat point being used by the Major. Try and give himself a little bit of staying power on this battlefield. He just keeps losing territory, mostly unopposed, despite winning practically every engagement in the entire game that we've seen. He somehow cannot hold territory, taking Territory winning engagements is one thing, but if you just let it get harassed back into your opponent's hands, what is that worth? Just can't seem to keep up with his opponent, is what it comes down to. These two Jacksons on their way to engage against the Panzer IV on the right side. If it's not at full health and positioned very carefully, there's an extremely good chance that double Jackson could just burst it down before Redbeard has a chance to react. It does look like he's going to see those Jacksons coming, though. The Jaeger Light Infantry, they actually have supervision range, I think. They can see way back there, so unless he's quite sneaky with those Jacksons, he might get spotted. Looks like they'll be just outside of his vision range, making a wide flank towards the right side, simultaneous with the Panzer IV doubling back here towards the left, where it will be protected by this AT gun. Jacksons are making their way through this opening. If they can make it onto the Panzer IV's flank, ooh, they're not taking a very good approach, though. They revealed themselves unnecessarily, and now they're doing this maneuver. That's going to give that Panzer IV ample time to escape, but it's not doing so. It's just kind of sitting right there. It's a dangerous thing to do. If those Jacksons get in range, it's going to be a problem. AT gun just got cleared, and the bulldozer is forced to retreat from all infantry formations. And he's going to disengage? Really? Okay.
What are your orders?
Guess he's not comfortable with diving into the base, even though he's got two Jacksons and a nice chunky bulldozer to lead the charge.
Echelon troops on the front
There is
line.
one Raketenwerfer and one Panzerschreck squad, and other than that, anti-tank situation for the Oberkommando West is pretty bad. Meanwhile, on the left side, a fresh, brand new squad of Volksgrenadiers going to try and do some map harassment. Also, we've got the Jaeger Lights and Obersoldaten trying to do some map harassment. They will be able to do so, like I said before, uncontested. Nothing over here to prevent this. Nothing at all. And look how much infantry is idle in the base.
One of our points.
You're ready. Send orders. Keep low and return fire. Panzer IV deployed. Awaiting orders.
Third Panzer IV, he's going hard into Panzer IV, as he probably knows if he tries to do anything other than that, he's just gonna lose. He needs to get out what he can. There's no hope of a King Tiger hitting this battlefield. Ooh, sneaky grenade. No reaction, but they're not quite placed correctly for it to do that much. The squad takes damage, it could at least turn the engagement. Another grenade toss on these overs, that was pretty good. But I think the engagement will be... I don't know why he just retreated that. They hadn't even taken a loss yet. But they will be forced retreat. That's going to weaken him significantly in the engagement against these Vet 3 rifles. Obersoldaten might be able to win this regardless, though. They at least jump into some yellow cover. Looks like those overs might win this. It's hard to tell. Over here on the right side, also taking territory virtually uncontested, while the vast majority of American forces are sitting AFK. I don't know what he's doing.
All done over here. What's that? My back to green is green can be.
Panzer IVs find an opportunity against that bulldozer a little bit, exposing its rear armor, but double Jackson in the back poses a serious threat to that Panzer IV. It needs to pull itself back to safety. They'll switch targets automatically to this Panzer IV. Get one shot off, and it just needs to get... What are they doing? Oh, lucky main gun destroyed on the bulldozer right there, falling very low. He's gonna try and seal the deal. Dangerous, dangerous. Oh, he shouldn't have done that. Those Jacksons were hovering. And the Vet 2 Panzer IV goes down. Got greedy. He wanted that bulldozer, but it just wasn't going to happen. He should have given up on that. Some very delicate tank maneuvers this game by both players. They're kind of having some pathing problems. They're struggling to micro their infantry and the tanks simultaneously. It's a challenging thing to do, for sure. But it looks like Nethmes is starting to pull ahead a little bit. Picked up a Panzer IV right there as Jacksons and Bulldozer both still alive. But he needs to get some territory back. He's just... How can he not have the whole map when his infantry army looks practically twice the size of his opponents? Get those squads moving. Use the forward reinforce point. Oh, interesting use of some late game volley fire there from the BAR rear echelon troops suppressing those Jaeger light infantry, forcing a retreat. With Vet 5 on so much over Commando West infantry, it's going to get that much harder for riflemen to compete in the infantry game. But at least the vetted squad of Obersoldaten has been picked up. This one's starting to get there, though. Captain getting gunned down quick by these long-range infantry. He will be forced back, and the bazooka is handed over to his opponent. Jacksons dive in a little too deep, looking for an opportunity against the Panzer IV, and they're going to be forced to pull back a little bit. Panzerschreck Blob trying to chase them down. Looks like it's not going to be able to catch up and taking BAR rifleman fire. They're probably going to be forced to retreat, especially with these bulldozer shots. So there they go. Ooh. There's one wipe. The other squad will get away. Only 5 squads of infantry currently on the field for Redbeard, who has taken devastating losses from start to finish this game. Riflemen are not being monitored in this engagement. They almost get wrecked by those Obersoldaten. Get away only with a tiny bit of HP. Obersoldaten will retreat in turn. Over here on the right side, the Vet 5 Jaeger Light Infantry are going to do some map harassment, and again they're uncontested. If I kind of really do wish that this bulldozer would just throw up some green cover for some infantry and they could just sit there and actually defend some territory for once.
Crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured. They're moving on the flank.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Rear echelon squad
Some
ready
fresh
for
rear
action.
echelons are being fielded to try and boost his map harassment ability, maybe throw some BARs on them, use them as combat infantry. Looks like that's what he's doing. Maybe he's not comfortable with the amount of pop cap and manpower bleed he's taken on riflemen, so he's transitioning to rear echelons for the late game, trying to get them to do a little bit of damage with BARs, vet them up, and they'll bleed a lot less. But they're also not that great in combat compared to riflemen either. They don't have grenades. Volley fire isn't exactly amazing. I don't know, I guess we'll see if that helps his manpower situation or not. It's definitely a low pop cap option when he's got 2 Jacksons and that bulldozer driving around. He doesn't have a lot of pop cap to work with. He's up to 89 out of 100. Of course, you'd think with 89 of 100 pop cap he could execute against an opponent who's down to 55.
All done over here. We're getting plastered over here. 90-day wonders fall in. Sherman, taking fire. Men are ready for action. Set over. Who's got eyes on that shooter? Area's hard. I need 90-day wonders. Fall in. We're taking lead over here.
Grenade toss on the overs. They will move to dodge right there. Captain going to retreat. Jackson falling dangerously low. Needs to pull back. This Jackson at full health still has little room to work with. Infantry blob just pushing its way straight up the right side. That long-range snipe from those Vet 5 Volksgrenadiers and a Jackson just goes down for no reason. Just loses it to infantry walking up and right-clicking it to death, I guess. Alright. Victory point situation is actually almost maybe going to pull even, despite Redbeard being way behind this whole game. He has reduced his deficit to only about 100 points and continues to successfully harass territory against rear echelon blobs of all things. His overs will get suppressed by volley fire right there. So they'll be forced to retreat. I'm not 100% confident that he's going to be able to take this engagement with rear echelon troops, though. Jaeger light infantry moving up to start sniping them down, while Volksgrenadiers tank close range. There's another volley fire being popped. I don't know, I guess I'm wrong. Rear echelon troops doing pretty okay with their BARs. There's the suppression from that volley fire. He's spending a lot of munitions to win this engagement, but he is going to win this engagement. Captain's on his way. He's got a BAR now too. Guess he's dropped. He doesn't have any bazookas left, just a BAR and his Thompson. That's an interesting captain squad. You don't see that very frequently. Over here on the left side, the bulldozer moves up to take out some Volksgrenadiers, and it's got 70 kills. 70 kills on a bulldozer, and yet he has not managed to seal the game. I don't know how that's even possible. Late retreat on those Jaeger light infantry. He's trying to save the day with this Panzer IV, but it's a little late now. Jackson's on its way. Bulldozer gets a hit on the rear armor. Heavy damage. He has got to pull that back to safety. He does have a bit of a Rakettenwerfer protection right here, but the bulldozer, if that shot penetrates, ooh, dangerously close. Very, very, very bad situation for the Panzer IV. I'm not sure it's going to be able to escape this. Infantry moving up are going to wipe that Rakettenwerfer. It should have retreated a million years ago. Panzer IV barely squeezes by. Another shot from the bulldozer does not connect, and that Panzer IV somehow makes another miracle escape. And a Jackson was destroyed. How? How could this Jackson be destroyed by a Rakettenwerfer that was being overwhelmed by massive infantry blobs? Oh my goodness, the carelessness is inexcusable. RNG bombs deployed on this house? Why? Oh no, no, not RNG bombs, excuse me. Scavenge artillery, okay. Try and push the captain back a little bit right there. Forces one retreat. Sure, does a little bit of light manpower bleed. I think his munitions would probably be better spent on mines? A minesweeper, perhaps? No, he doesn't really need a minesweeper, actually. I don't know why he would get one of those. There's no demo charges left or anything. Assault engineers are dead. But yeah, mines. Mines would be good. Mines and just spamming grenades, probably. Especially the frangible on his Obersoldaten. Very, very nice grenade. And booby traps, actually. Yeah, scavenge doctrine should definitely be using booby traps. If you don't have any Sternfires out and you don't intend to purchase any, booby traps make a great mine replacement. These two squads will be forced to retreat by Jaeger light infantry and Panzer IV fire. And more infantry moving up the left side will start harassing territory, uncontested, and a Panther, somehow, 55 minutes, anything is possible. Panther makes it onto the field. Still 250 fuel in the bank for the US player, though. He could get tanks. He's spending a lot on manpower bleed this game, though. And if he could just tighten up his Jackson micro a little bit, try and kite more effectively, be a much more serious threat to his opponent's tanks. But his bulldozer is exposing its rear armor. It might go down right here. There it is, that Vet 3 bulldozer with how many kills? I don't know, 75 plus probably. Finally destroyed right there. This is going to be a huge opening for the Panther plus Panzer IV to take out the Jackson as well. And all American armor has been destroyed, and I don't know if the American player can win this game now. I think all hope is lost. I don't know how what I'm seeing is possible, but apparently this US player managed to lose control of this game. And Redbeard is going to pull into a significant lead here despite having suffered horrible losses all game long. Grenade assault makes a good counter to volley fire because it forces the squad to reposition. Clever. Vet 3 Panzer IV with engine damage will be forced to pull back for repairs. Both fuel points now in Oberkommando West control, and the victory points also all falling into the hands of the Axis with 100 points left, roughly. Redbeard will turn the triple cap onto his opponent, who has 150 VPs remaining, and now will be desperately fighting to turn the victory point situation back in his favor.
Mission accomplished. Be ready with that bar. Crack troops with super weapons. Check weapons.
And now there's going to be a brief ceasefire while Redbeard takes territory and Nethmes thinks about what he's going to do to recover from this situation. He's got a little fuel banked, so he could probably get out maybe a second Jackson, rely on his BARs to fight off what little infantry his opponent does have, which is still not that much. It's really not. If either of these players actually utilize cover at any point of this game, who knows? Who knows how infantry engagements might have been different. Armor Company has the easiest free access to green cover out of anything in the entire game. It's a shame not to see that utilized at all. And there's always vehicle cover. Nobody uses vehicle cover though, come on, let's be honest. Nobody does that. Panther currently protecting over here on the left with the top mount machine gun will be sufficient to scare off that rifle squad, and a Panzer IV moving up the right will have to contend with one Jackson. But other than that, may serve as a useful tool for pushing back these rear echelons. It doesn't want to get too aggressive with it. I don't know if he spotted the Jackson or if he's just generally doesn't want to engage with it if he can avoid it. I don't know if I think that Jackson should be driving unsupported straight into the fog towards a Panther, though. That sounds like a good way to lose his Jackson. Panzerschreck support on its way to take control of the VP. The clock currently completely stopped, but the US player has now finally fallen behind. He has fallen under 100 VPs and is now desperately hurling his units at the victory point capture circles, trying to get them down. If he had just, well, too late to play. If only. Has to focus on the here and now. But losing full squads on flank engagements, rear echelon troops going down right there, that's not going to help anything. Panther engaging against his Jackson. Gets a couple good shots off. Jackson shot bounces. Jackson falls dangerously low. If the Panther had fully committed to that engagement, we could have seen a dead Jackson right there. Doesn't want to keep engaging, it's just going to pull back completely for repairs. Volksgrenadiers finish the capture of this territory. Panther will stick around to harass these riflemen with the hull, coaxial, and top mount machine guns. Doing pretty okay damage. But smoke right there is going to interfere with its ability to harass these infantry back. Panzer IV, on the other hand, moving up for crush maneuvers. Might be a problem. They will retreat after decapping the points, satisfied with the amount of damage inflicted right there. And another squad of riflemen gets wiped on the right, not being monitored. Jaeger light infantry moving up with Volksgrenadier support. And it looks like the American player has been pushed completely back into his own base, and with an UG, he will surrender after an hour-long slugfest. GG. I don't know what to say about this game. I feel as though Redbeard executed pretty poorly in the beginning. The early game could not have gone more well for Nethmes there. He got control of the cutoff. He completely shoved his opponent back into his base, but as the game dragged on, both of their nerves got a little more frayed. Nethmes he dropped the ball a little bit, and he couldn't juggle what his opponent was dishing out. And not to mention, he kind of threw away his massive lead a little bit by artillery striking his own tank blob on that big charge. I don't know what he was thinking there. That was a bit of a pivotal moment right there in that game. So, think there's room for improvement for both of these players, but GG for sure. Axis wins.